if you guys should be talking so loud.
No, Lisa, it's not like the government is listening to everybody's conversation.
Back in 2007, the Simpsons movie imagined what a society without privacy might look like.
Hey everybody, I found one! The government actually found someone we're looking for! Yeah, baby, yeah!
Bart, Marge, and Lisa were fleeing Seattle to tell the world about the EPA's plans to blow up Springfield, where Homer had just triggered an environmental disaster. The scene ends with the federal government arresting them. The NSA was able to track them down because they were eavesdropping on everyone. But the scenario isn't just a gag in a sitcom. These days, the NSA amounts to only a sliver of all kinds of spying going on as our electronic devices record more and more information.
We do live in a world where technology is infused in our lives and in which there's just more data being collected about us than ever before, and we have very little control because there are very weak laws in the United States that are protecting privacy.
Kashmir Hill is a technology reporter at the New York Times. She investigates our, quote, digital exhaust, which is what she calls all the data generated by our daily activities. Hill's work exposes how companies manipulate information they've gathered so that they can make judgments about us, often without our input or consent. For example, her 2023 book, Your Face Belongs to Us, tells the story of a facial recognition startup that builds massive databases of millions of people's biometric facial information gleaned from photos on the internet. The ACLU found that its activities violated an Illinois privacy law.
If we let technology determine what society looks like, we will live in a world where we would not have privacy or anonymity in public anymore. A world in which the internet would always follow you around and you would never be able to escape your history. It would all be tied directly to your face.
Another of Hill's investigations revealed how insurance companies jacked up rates on unsuspecting drivers after buying driving habit data that was surreptitiously recorded from cars connected to the internet. These massive information gathering activities give both companies and governments a lot of power.
Ultimately, why are they gathering the information? It could be something like, okay, we just want to deliver ads to people. We want to get people to buy stuff, or we want to induce people to do things.
Daniel Soloff is a privacy expert at the George Washington University Law School.
Just recently, there was a big exfiltration of data from a lot of the government agencies about pretty much every American citizen. What are they going to do with this data? What's going on? Nobody knows.
To be clear, laws exist to prevent the government from collecting your information for one purpose, but then using it for another. But, Soloff says,
there's a lot of exceptions that we could drive a truck through.
Even routine collections of information, such as public safety surveillance footage, can pose unanticipated risks if it's not carefully managed.
If you're kind of in the lower part of Manhattan, you can probably be seen by an NYU security camera.
Cassidy Canna-Gomes is a rising junior at New York University and a member of Students for Justice in Palestine. She notes that NYU operates more than 3,000 surveillance cameras on campus. Students also have to use electronic passes to get access into buildings. She says surveillance has changed how protesters strategize.
All these students that were taking over buildings and stuff in the 70s, it's you can't do that anymore because the school has a much stronger ability to figure out who each person is.
NYU says on its website that surveillance cameras and badges are meant to boost campus safety in the heart of a busy metropolis. But Daniel Soloff notes that the federal government might later decide to demand access to this footage. That's why we need to enforce clear rules and expectations and what we intend to do with all this data.
People should know what information is being collected about them, how it's being used. It should only be stored for the period that it's needed for use and then discarded. These are the basic principles.
So what are NYU surveillance and data policies? A spokesperson for the university didn't respond to my questions. For her part, Canna-Gomes doesn't know what those policies are either. She isn't even sure what privacy on campus really means anymore.
At this point, I'm not entirely sure because it feels like you kind of don't have it
Can't I even have privacy here?
For Philosophy Talk, I'm Sarah Lai Sterland.